We are.
Okay.
So
There you go.
thank you.
Thank you. Mhm.
Thank you so much, Hyakuten, for agreeing to do this interview with us. And so, everybody, I would love to introduce Hyakuten Inamoto Sensei. And he's a pure land Buddhist monk and internationally respected Reiki Master and Teacher. He's the founder of Komyo ReikiDo, a Reiki system rooted in traditional Japanese spiritual practices and dedicated to the original essence of Reiki as a path to personal enlightenment and compassionate action. He was a student of Chiyoko Yamaguchi, who trained under Chujiro Hayashi, and he has devoted his life to preserving the essence of the teachings of Usui Reiki Ryoho while making them accessible to a global audience. His approach places emphasis on Reiki not only as a healing technique, but a way of life, a spiritual practice focused on inner peace, mindfulness, and the cultivation of universal compassion. So I met Hyakuten Inamoto in 2017 when I did a workshop with him, and I found him to be a wonderful man, a very humble man who speaks truth. And he speaks the essence of what Reiki is all about. And so welcome, Hyakuten Inamoto. We are so blessed to have you here. And firstly, I would like to just ask you a little bit about what your early life was about. And before you even encountered Reiki, what was it like growing up with you must have
Okay.
had that calling.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's your question, huh?
Yeah.
Good question. But anyway, uh, it's a great pleasure for me to join you today. And thank you, Carol, so much for having me today. Thank you.
It is our honor and our pleasure.
So it's about my kind of life before
Yeah.
Reiki Ryoho. Well, I was from my young age. I was looking, how should I say, kind of a spiritual path or training. What is my, purpose of life? You know, as everybody sometimes, think about it. What is my, you know, life's purpose? So yeah. So in a way, I could be a spiritual person from my young age. Yeah. So first I tried to learn Taoism from China,
Okay.
Taoism. Yeah.
Yes,
Then after Taoism, okay, the Buddhism, teaching of the Buddha, you know, attracted me so much. Yeah. So
me too.
I decided to work on, uh, spiritual path, which is Buddhism. Speaking of Buddhism, to me, you know, uh, Buddhism is not a religion.
I
Yeah,
agree. Yeah.
yeah,
It's a way of life.
yeah, your way of life, and it's a guideline, by historical Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha. Okay, in Buddhism, no Almighty God, no dogma, no nothing. Yeah.
Yes,
So to me, it's not again, you know, religion, any belief system. It's a way of life guideline. You know,
I agree.
uh, historical Buddha, 2,600 years ago, he shared the truth or universal truth, I should say, the simple laws of the universe. That's all.
Exactly.
Yeah, he didn't create anything. Anyway, I wanted to, learn more about Buddhism, and I was studying Buddhism by myself, but I felt kind of a limit. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought I need a teacher, Buddhist teacher. Yes. Then, fortunately, I found a very nice, Buddhist teacher. Yeah. Uh,
Excellent.
yes. So I decided, okay, I follow, this this monk.
Teachings.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And
I did a Vipassana retreat many years ago with the 10
mhm,
days of meditation for 10 hours a
mhm,
day.
mhm,
And
mhm,
it took me for the 5 days, and then I got stillness, and I thought, this
mhm,
is what it's all about. It was
mhm,
just
mhm,
actually finding that peace.
mhm.
So I
Yeah,
understand.
yeah. So before, I encountered Reiki Ryoho, I was focusing on Buddhism, together
Mm,
with my Buddhist teacher. Okay. And
yes,
as you mentioned, formerly I belonged to Jodoshu, Pure and Buddhism, yeah.
yes,
And now after becoming a Reiki practitioner, you know, I have found the commonality between, simple, hands-on healing practice, which is
yes.
a Reiki Ryoho, and the practice of Pure and Buddhism. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Simply put, most important philosophy is, you know, to surrender 100%, you know, to the universe or
Definitely,
to the Buddha, Amitabha Buddha, surrender 100% is a common ground between,
definitely.
Reiki Ryoho and practice of Pure Buddhism. Yeah. Okay.
Wonderful.
So anyway, okay, uh, I enjoy my learning, studying, the Buddhism, with my teacher. Okay. Then uh, I found Reiki Ryoho. Okay. Yes.
Yes, excellent.
Yes.
And so, uh, what was it? Was there something special about Reiki that did you have a treatment, or what made you go on that search before you met Mrs. Yamaguchi?
Aha. Okay. So as a Buddhist monk or priest, whatever, you know, I could help people with by word of mouth, you know.
Yes,
Yes, yes. But
wisdom
if
sharing.
person suffer, physical pain or something, how can I heal the pain by word of mouth, you know? So
Yes,
I've been, oh, I need something in my hand, you know, more like a physical touch, you know. So I
yes,
thought, yeah, massage or whatever, shiatsu could be okay. But for me, too difficult. I have to learn so many things. Oh, this is not for me, So
definitely. Yeah.
yeah, that was, in my mind, yeah. Then again, all of a sudden, I found a book on Reiki in Kyoto, you know,
Wow.
and the book was translated, of course, from English into Japanese by Mrs. Mitsui Mieko, a student of Barbara Ray, one of the original
Oh,
22 Reiki Master. Yeah,
wow.
yeah, Barbara
Okay.
Ray, uh, is the first author of book on Reiki. We have so many Reiki book now, you
Oh,
know.
definitely.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
her book, which is called what's the name? Yeah, it's not Reiki Ryoho, but anyway,
The Reiki Alliance she was in, wasn't she?
no, not Reiki. She became
Oh,
independent,
oh
right?
no, sorry,
No,
that's right. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Reiki Fact or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
anyway, that was the very first book on Reiki. Okay. Then her student, Japanese, Mrs. Michi
Wow.
Mieko, living in New York City as a journalist, then she
Okay.
translates the book into Japanese. Then I found a copy in a
That is
bookstore in
amazing
Kyoto.
because
Yeah,
there would not have
amazing.
been any other books in Japan on Reiki, even though it's
Mhm.
national, it came from there. But
Yeah.
it was just really a private thing with the Gakkai back in those days, wasn't it?
Mhm.
They didn't share
Mhm.
anything.
Yeah. Then the title say Reiki Ryoho. Reiki not in kanji, not in Chinese character, katakana,
Yes.
only a pronunciation, no meaning. Yeah, but
Wow.
Reiki sound very Japanese, okay? It
Yeah.
should be from Japan, okay?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah, but I wanted to buy a copy, but at that moment, I had not enough money, So I said, okay, I come back and buy a copy. Then I forget, you know. Yeah. Then, Reiki Ryoho book, you know, I want a copy. So I went back to the bookstore in Kyoto again and gone. Okay. Then I
Oh,
try the other bookstore,
so you never
gone.
actually got to buy the book.
No,
You
no.
just
But now I
saw
have.
it. Now you've
Now
got it.
I have.
Oh, I
Then
bet.
that was the lesson. If I want, a book here, yeah, I need to buy it, right, if
Straight
not,
away.
maybe straight away, or if not, next day, not after a
Definitely.
month or so. No, yeah. Well, anyway, yeah, that's
So
uh,
it really is.
no,
Reiki was calling you, wasn't it?
I think so. Yes. Then the words Reiki Ryoho, stay with me, or haunted me because I knew, it's about hands-on healing. This I need, you know. I have a mouse, but I need something in my hand. Okay. Then,
Yes.
if I learn this Reiki Ryoho, I could be a kind of complete, by
Yes.
word of mouth, with a physical hand, I can help the people. Yeah. So that's was my first encounter with Reiki Ryoho. I'm still grateful, to Mrs. Mitsui Mieko for her, translating the book into Japanese. I have never met, but
Definitely.
yeah, yeah, mhm, yeah. That
Amazing.
was my first encounter, with Reiki Ryoho.
And let me tell you, my first encounter was a book falling out of a bookshelf and hitting me on the head.
Yeah,
And it was a Reiki book.
see, yeah, similar,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you have something within you, searching or looking for, yeah. And
Definitely.
I did the same thing. That's why,
Yeah.
we could, you know, find the book on Reiki. Yeah.
Exactly. And
Uh-huh.
so, how did you then find Mrs. Yamaguchi? How was that?
Yamaguchi. Okay.
Yeah.
Then, okay, this I need to learn, you know. So, uh, I wanted to look for Reiki teacher master. Okay. That was how many years ago? Maybe anyway, almost
1997?
no, 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 more than that. Five more, I mean,
Oh,
5 years before. Yeah,
okay. Yep.
yeah. So it's a long time ago. At that time, the time was not the internet. Now
Yes.
we have the internet, so easy to gather information. Yes,
So
but
true.
at that time, it was not the internet age. I had no computer, nothing. I had a hard time to, gather information.
Definitely.
Then it took me some time, but I found a Reiki master, based in Tokyo, not in Kyoto. Yes,
Okay.
her name is Lim Perez from your country, Australia.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
wow.
yeah. She's still there. Yes, and she was living in Tokyo and teaching Reiki classes. Okay,
Yeah.
then I thought, oh, lucky me. I found a Reiki teacher in Tokyo. Yes. So uh, I asked her to provide some information, when, and most important, and the thing is how much, it costs.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Then at that time, level one, level two was, I cannot recall the exact class fee, but not too much for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, this is
Yes.
too much for
It
me.
was very
That means,
expensive back then. Yep.
yes, yes. So that means, I had to give up on her. Okay. But again, Reiki Ryoho haunted
Stayed
me.
with you.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
haunted
tell
you.
me. Yeah. So then, okay, but still, I need somebody, who teach me Reiki Ryoho. Then I always talk about Reiki Ryoho. Then one of my friends, in Kyoto came to me. Oh, Hyakuten-san, you always talk about Reiki Ryoho, but there's a Oba-san. Oba-san means literally old woman, but with Oba-san. O means, how do you say, with a high respect. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great
Okay?
woman. Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. So it's more like, I don't know how to call it in English. Anyway, there's a Oba-san who might teach you Reiki Ryoho. Yeah? In Kyoto. Oh, okay, we go, Yeah.
Yes.
Then, then I visited her, apartment,
Yes,
Then
Mrs.
she was there and we asked her to teach, Reiki classes, okay? But actually, uh, she looks very old, like a Obasan, Yeah.
Like a wise woman.
hmm So, but anyway, she said, okay, I think, I can teach you, you know, whatever I recall, the teaching of my teacher means Hayashi Sensei. Okay, as
Yes,
you
yeah.
know, she joined a 5-day course of Hayashi Sensei. Okay, so she
Yes.
said,
When
okay,
she was 17, wasn't she?
yes, yes, like a high school girl, But
Yeah.
anyway, she said, I think I can share with you whatever I recall, the teaching of Hayashi Sensei. So she said, okay, I teach you. We are so happy. We means 5 of them, 5 of us.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
And
Then
she only taught a very simple style, didn't she? No levels, no level 1, 2, master or anything.
no,
It was
no,
just practice.
nothing. No,
Yeah.
how should I say? No class level, no curriculum, no nothing, no
Yeah.
manual. Yeah. But it was so we are so happy. Okay. Then we started. Reiki training with her I think every Monday. Okay, yeah, okay. But anyway, then after 3, 4 months, 3 of them drop out.
Oh,
So two,
okay.
you know, yeah, including
Yeah.
me, stayed with
Yeah.
her for over 1 year.
And her son was not in any of those classes,
No,
was
no,
he?
no, no.
No.
He was running a small stationery shop
Business
from his father. And at that time, Tadao-san was very much involved in, you know,
in
jore healing,
business.
jore, business and
Oh,
jore
Dore,
healing.
yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Jore is part of a new religion, or cult
Oh, okay.
religion. Or, yeah, yeah.
I thought it was just a healing art. I didn't realize it was a
No, no,
religion.
no.
Okay.
It's belong to new religion, cult. Yeah. But
Wow.
anyway,
Okay.
yeah, he was, uh,
Yeah.
Secretary General of J Healing. J means a Jore Healing. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, yes.
So he wasn't
Uh,
in those classes. That's yeah. Um, yeah, and so there was just you and one other, and I believe you
yeah.
had over 60 Reiju in that time that you trained
Oh,
with
yes,
her.
yes, 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 yes. Because every Monday, one radio, sometimes twice, yes.
Yeah.
Then over here, and when I visit her, Mrs. Yamaguchi, at her place, sometimes I ask, Okasan, would you give me radio? She said, okay,
Few
So,
blessings.
yeah, not
Yes.
only in her, training, but privately, she gave me, many radio. Okay.
That's
So,
wonderful.
yeah, like you mentioned, her teaching was very simple. We get together, then, yeah, radio. This is a kind of a central or
Yeah.
most important, yeah, I should say highlight, huh?
Yes. Yeah.
Then healing practice. That's all.
And did
Reishi,
she
healing
teach you how to do Reiju then as well?
Re, how to give
How
radio?
to give
Okay,
Reiju?
after after 7 months later, she said, maybe it's about time, for you to know how to give radio. Okay?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like I said, no class level like a Shoden, Okuden, or Shimpiden. But
Yeah.
again, after 7 months later, he said, it's about
You are
time.
ready.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
I was so happy. Okay. Yeah,
So in
yeah,
the Western world, that would be basically her saying, now I think you're at the level of a master and I'm
yeah,
going to teach you
yeah,
how to pass
yeah,
this
yeah,
on.
yeah. But I
Excellent. That's
didn't know
wonderful.
that. But you know, now I know how to give radio. It was my honor. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And empowering
Then,
too.
hmm yeah.
And
Then
so
I had no intention to, teach, Reiki
yeah.
classes. Yeah.
And so when did you decide that you really wanted to, you loved it so much, you really wanted to use it as a tool to empower others and teach others? What inspired you to do that?
So that was the hard training was 1977. Yeah, 1970. Yeah, no, 1997. Mhm.
97, yes, yes.
97. Yes. Then after 1 year training, about 1 year training, uh, I felt that, oh, this is wonderful. Yeah, I want to
And
share this wonderful gift, you know, from Usui Sensei with the people. I mean, yeah,
Mrs.
that's
Yamaguchi was really happy for you to do that at the start, wasn't she?
that I don't know. I didn't ask,
Okay,
her.
yep.
Yes, but anyway, you know, the reason I finished the training with her was her youngest son Tadao. He
Yes.
uh, how they say, founded, you know, Jikiden Reiki system. Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
yes, yes,
Yes, I
yes,
did
yeah.
hear that.
So Mr. Yamaguchi said to me, "Oh, my son is going to do something new, yeah." Uh, so he opened up the Jikiden Reiki. Then she
Institute.
asked me, Hyakuten-san, would you help my son, Tadao? And I said, of course, I'm so happy to help Tadao-san. Yeah, because
Yes.
I owe you very much, Yeah. So, so I helped Tadao for over a year. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
He's a English translator.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. For example, William Rand and his student, 10 of them, came to Kyoto to learn Jikiden Reiki. So I was there, as a, English translator. Yeah.
Wow. And
So
so, yeah, continue
whenever
on.
Tadao had, the students from other country, okay, I was his English translator.
Wow.
Yes. Hmm.
And so, when you started teaching Komyo Reiki Kai in
Class, yes.
1990 in 1998, didn't you?
Yeah, yes, yes, yes. Hmm.
And did so was Tadao already teaching Jikiden then, or did he start that in 2000?
Uh, 2000 is a kind of review. I mean, yeah, he was officially introduced to Reiki community. Like you said, that was in the year 2000,
Right. Yeah.
Tadao and his Jikiden, and together with his mother, Mrs. Yamaguchi. Yes, that was the
Okay.
official. How should I say? Yeah, uh, yeah.
And so, did you first start teaching Komyo Reikido in Japan? And was that at the same time that Jikiden was on, or were you teaching that privately and then assisting him on the side, kind of thing? How did that all happen?
Uh, I couldn't follow your question.
Oh,
Would you repeat?
so
Yeah.
when you started teaching Komyo Reikido, was
Mm-hmm.
Jikiden already? going and you were helping him, or you had
Yes,
already started?
I have already started. Yeah.
Okay,
So it's more like part-time job being a English translator. I had,
right.
my
Yeah,
own system. Yeah.
business.
Yes, yes. Then, you know, uh, as I was asked by, my teacher, Mrs. Yamaguchi, to help her son. So I was so
And you were
happy.
already teaching Komyo ReikiDo then, weren't
Yes,
you?
yes, yes, yes.
Wonderful.
Uh,
I just wanted
from,
to get that
mhm,
timeline clear.
Yeah. So from the beginning, my class, still now, more like a private class, one or two, sometimes more,
Yes.
but basically one or two students. Yeah.
And so how did your teachings differ to Jikiden? I think probably yours, from taking one of your classes, I think yours will be more focused on the spiritual aspect. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if somebody asks me the difference between, Komyo ReikiDo and Jikiden, of course, we share the same teacher, right? Mr.
Yes.
Yamaguchi. Yeah,
Yes.
my teacher. And to Tadao-san, Mrs. Yamaguchi, was happened to be his mother,
His mother.
but we share the same teacher. To me,
Yes.
you know, he is my Reiki brother, you know,
Yes.
younger brother. Yes, yes.
Yes.
But, when I founded Komyo ReikiDo, before Komyo Reikikai, now Komyo ReikiDo,
Yes.
uh, I was focusing. I know it's about hands-on healing, yes, but, you know, according to the word of Usui Sensei, the founder, you know, he said, Reiki Ryoho is Seishin Shuyo. Seishin Shuyo means a spiritual training. Yes.
Spiritual train. Yes.
Yes.
And and I know that some of the work from Hiroshi Doi had
Mm-hmm.
some comments from Master Usui
Mm.
really saying that that was the focus, that you have to heal the mind before you can heal the body, really.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Yes.
The official or formal name for, Usui Reiki Ryoho, is Shinshin Kaizen,
Yes.
mind-body improvement, Usui Reiki Ryoho. Yeah, so like I said, Usui Sensei, said Reiki Ryoho, Reiki healing, Reiki hands-on healing practice is, Seishin Shuyo, spiritual training. So, okay,
Excellent.
you know, I I'm going to focus on of course, healing, hands-on healing practice is very important. It's more like the base of the mountain. Yes,
Yes,
it's not everything. Okay, yeah,
that's
yeah,
right. And
yeah.
I think in the
So,
Western world, people have gotten
mhm,
that wrong. And they're
mhm,
now just starting to come back into understanding that it's not just about the hands-on healing, that there's so much more richness in
yes,
Reiki if we use it as a pathway on our spiritual practice.
yeah.
Mm,
That's make me happy. I
I
feel happy about
agree.
that. Yeah, yeah. So again, from the beginning, okay, simple hands-on, healing practice is, uh, spiritual training or spiritual practice. And
Mm,
I always say, of course, hands-on healing practice is important, but not everything. So in other words, it's not about, hands-on healing, but it's also about spiritual training. Yeah. So I like to say Komyo focus is more on spiritual training. Then I think, I'm not sure, uh, Jikiden, focus on hands-on healing practice. Okay,
yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yes.
kind of a difference. Yeah,
Yeah.
we
I
share
yeah, I
this.
thought it was
We
going to
share.
be something like
Mm,
that.
yeah, we share the same teacher. Yeah, but kind of focus is different. Yeah.
And I think probably part of that is because you started off focusing on your spiritual path
Mm-hmm.
rather than the hands-on healing. But you were also, because you're a Buddhist monk, it's really gotten you back into the stillness and the spiritual path. So probably that's where your emphasis was before you even found Reiki.
Maybe without knowing it, Yeah,
Yeah.
I chose, spiritual training, the path, which is never-ending path, right?
Oh, I love your story about the
Hmm. Yeah,
searching for the ox,
yeah,
about
yeah,
going
yeah,
up the mountain.
yeah,
Maybe you could
yeah,
share that with
yeah.
others.
So anyway, as a Reiki practitioner, and as I always say, our daily goal, we have two goals. Daily goal is to stay healthy and happy, of course, every day. Okay.
Yes.
Then another goal is final goal or destination. I say it's Satori, enlightenment, illumination, the top of the mountain. Okay. So I always say we have, you know, two goals, daily goal to be healthy and happy every day. Final goal or destination, Satori. Okay, okay,
Very
yeah.
true.
So, Komyo ReikiDo practice motto, as very simple. Place your hand, surrender. I mean, 100% to Reiki or the universe. Then smile. That's all. Okay. Yes. So
Very simple.
yeah, very simple. And, place your hand. Anybody can do, even children can do, you know, easy for everybody.
Yes, definitely.
And, but surrender to Reiki or the universe, I mean, 100%, we find it so difficult. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I'm
Particularly in
still
our Western
struggling.
world. Yeah,
Hmm.
in our Western
Yeah.
world, there's so much so many people in their head and not in their heart, and they want to
Hmm.
control everything.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Then, for many years, why I find it so difficult to surrender, you know. Then I found out, oh, maybe my ego, you know,
Yeah.
I, my, me, if I use I, or me, my, I feel comfortable. But as you know, when we practice spiritual, something, training, whatever, we have to
Yes.
put our ego aside. We don't need
Yes.
our ego. Yeah.
I
Then we don't feel
totally
comfortable.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think we don't feel confident till we are immersed in that energy and in that light. And I've been in that place. And when you're in that place, there's nothing but bliss and joy and peace. And it
Hmm.
just changes the way you look at the world once you get to that place, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So not only Reiki hands-on healing practice, but yoga, meditation, so-called spiritual practices. We have
definitely.
to put our ego aside, right?
Yes, yes.
But our ego, in our daily life, we need our ego. My
Because these
ego,
bodies, these bodies house our soul. So we've got to
yeah.
keep them healthy so
Hmm.
we can
Hmm.
continue to
Yeah,
live our
yeah,
best life.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah. So
excellent.
I need my ego to survive in the world of duality, good or bad, win lose,
So
Yeah.
true.
So
Mhm.
I always say, that our ego is not enemy. They are good friend, good companion,
That's right.
to survive in the world of duality. But again, when it's come to spiritual training, we have to say, please, how do you say, go away, or
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Surrender.
step back,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep. And just release and
yeah,
let go of that. So you come back to who you are.
yeah. That's
Yeah,
why I think, we find kind of a difficulty, yeah. So I sometimes say, as a Reiki practitioner, we need to struggle with our ego all our life.
definitely.
Yeah,
It's so
you know?
true.
Yes.
Yeah. The human
See,
condition.
yeah. So my physical body, yours, uh, uh, kind of a symbol of our ego, my body, my ego. Okay, but when I die,
Yeah,
yeah, when I die, no ego, no nothing.
that's right.
Yeah, but as long as I'm here alive, I have my ego. Yeah. So like I said, we need to struggle with our you know ego all our life. Okay.
So true.
But again, it's a spiritual training, putting our ego aside. Yeah.
And and how do you view the Reiki Gokai, the relationship to our everyday spiritual growth? Do you think it's just for Reiki, or do you see it as a pathway to our enlightenment?
It's of course it's yeah, and a way to enlightenment, and not only for Reiki practitioner, it's for everybody, people
Mm,
in general. Yeah, very simple, but again, very difficult to practice them. I mean, Reiki principle in our
yes,
daily life. Yeah,
to
yeah,
let
like
go of the anger and the worry.
yeah, and also the very first one, kyo dake wa, today only, you know,
So
as you
important.
know, it means, today only means never mind yesterday, never mind tomorrow. In other
Being
words,
fully present.
be in the present, in the
Yes,
here now. So we human find this so difficult, to be in the present. It's not like
definitely.
other animal. They have no time, so they are always in the present, okay, in
So
the here
true.
now. But
Yes,
we human have a concept of time, you know. Sometimes without knowing it, we tend to look back, yesterday, last week. We tend to look ahead, tomorrow, next week, then forget about the here
being
now.
fully present. Be here
Yes,
now. That's
yes, yes.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So the very first one, Kyodakiwa, so difficult for us to practice in our daily life. Okay? Be in the present, be in the present, Yeah. So and anger, worry, maybe, fear, all kind of a negative emotion we have a lot, huh? Yeah. And conscious gratitude, to me, the the foundation of everything. Okay, if we are grateful, you know, uh, to anybody, anything, for anything, in other words, if we are full of gratitude, I think there will be no negative emotion like anger, worry. Yeah,
So
there
true.
is no room,
No,
for
that's
negative
right.
emotion. Yeah,
And
because
even, yeah,
we are full of gratitude.
even when we look at vibrational frequency
Mhm.
and quantum physics, when we look at every emotion has a different frequency,
Mhm.
gratitude is even higher than love.
Okay, that's
So
good. Good to
isn't that
know.
interesting?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, interesting. So, like I mentioned, if we are full of gratitude, there is no room, no space for negative energy enter. Okay,
so true.
always we feel, you know, grateful. Okay, yeah. So
That's so true.
again, very simple. I mean Reiki principle. Okay, and
Yes,
it's not only for Reiki practitioner, for everybody, people in general. Okay, so to
yes,
me, it's the number one spiritual training. Yes. Okay.
I
Uh,
agree.
yes. Okay, that's how I understand Reiki principle. Yeah,
Very, very powerful, really.
yeah.
And so you've traveled the whole world, haven't you? Now you've got
Not
Reiki,
the whole
Komyo
world.
ReikiDo. Well, no, but you've
Part
gone
of the
to
part of the world. Yeah.
you've been to a lot of places. Where are some of the places you've been to? I know there's Komyo ReikiDo in New York, and I know we've definitely got it here in Australia. We've got Sally down in Melbourne, who's
Mm-hmm.
your representative here. Where else
Mm-hmm.
have we got Komyo ReikiDo? Because in a relatively short period of time, you've really grown the whole school of Komyo ReikiDo. So where else are your schools? And do you teach in person
Uh,
in all of those places?
mhm. Okay, so for example, next month in July, I'm scheduled to visit, Edmonton, Canada. Okay. Then I have organizer, yeah. Her name is in the Marianne Gersh, yes. Then I have another organizer in Toronto, Canada. Okay, yes.
I'm going to be in Canada in about a week. I'll be in Vancouver.
Oh, very close, Edmonton, Vancouver, very close. Then, as you know, in your country, I have study, yeah, in Melbourne.
Yes.
Then in September, as a kind of a annual event, I go to North Italy. Okay,
Okay.
then I have an organizer there, Chiara Grandi. This year will be 20th visit. Means for over
Wow.
20 years, I go there every year. Yes,
Amazing.
and Chiara did a great job. So especially in the North Italy, when it's come to Reiki Ryoho, okay, Komyo ReikiDo could be, you know, kind of a mainstream,
Yes.
system.
Yeah.
Of course, they have, Agenda Reiki, Dosensei, Jikiden, other, major Reiki sister, yes. But in the northern Italy, I think Komyo ReikiDo is the number one there,
Oh, that's
thanks to
wonderful, isn't it?
Kiara. Yes, yes.
Mm.
Then we have Victoria, originally from Ukraine. Now she's living in Italy, and she has many students, in Ukraine. Okay, so let's
Wow.
see, where is she? And Barcelona, I have some new one, two, yeah, two devoted Xian. Okay, then uh, in Argentina, yes, I have, the Flavia, okay, and Chile. We are going to have a kind of a community there, because I was there, I think, sometime last year, you know, from
Yes.
Kyoto, Japan to Santiago de Chile. It took me more than 30 some hours to reach. Too
Wow.
long, too
That's
long.
too
Yeah.
far.
But anyway,
Definitely.
yeah, yeah. So
And
fortunately, I'm having more and more Komirekido, Shihan, and the people, I'm a student there. Yeah.
excellent. And what was I going to say? And you have your gatherings too, don't you? Online gatherings. I've been to one of those,
Oh, yes,
maybe
yes,
two of
yes, yes.
those, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
which is really good.
So
So,
thanks to Sally, I have a, online Zoom gathering every month,
yeah.
uh, one for North and South American people by Sally. Another one is for, people in Europe because of the,
Oh,
time difference,
timeline.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, time zone. Yeah. So Victoria is in charge of, Reiki gathering online, for the European people. I have two online gathering every month.
Wow. So you're a
Hmm.
very busy man, aren't you?
In a way, busy, yes, and
Yeah.
yeah, I'm happy about that.
I
Yeah.
bet you are. And
Mhm.
I saw that video with you and Phyllis Lee Paramoto before she passed. I think it was 7 years ago. Have you met her in person, or that was your first time you actually got a chance to
Very,
speak with her?
very often, very
Oh,
often.
wow. Wow,
Whenever
wonderful.
Phyllis came to Kyoto, we
Yep,
met. Yeah.
wonderful.
So, yeah, in her later life, she tried to come to Kyoto, as
Yep,
often as possible. So
that's
I don't
wonderful.
know how many times, I met her, in
Mm.
person. Sometimes she cooked a meal for me.
Oh, wow.
It
That's
was an honor.
wonderful.
Yeah, it was an honor. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so wonderful to see
Mhm.
the East and the West together.
Mhm.
And although
Yes.
the teachings are very different, it's
Mhm.
really what's in your heart, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
And that
Then,
mutual respect for each other.
mhm. Then Phyllis was first generation Japanese American. But to me,
Yes,
she looks Japanese, but inside her, typical
she's
American.
American.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
I thought
very
the same thing
American.
about Phyllis.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, 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 yes. But deep inside her, in her blood, there's a Japanese DNA.
Definitely.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, in her blood. That's
And the
why
fact that
in
she
her,
kept going back means that she felt
yeah,
connected.
yeah, yeah. That's why I thought, oh, because of her DNA, her blood, Japanese blood, you know,
Yeah.
uh, trigger her to, okay, I go back to Japan as, many as possible so that I can understand Japanese culture, tradition. Okay. Yeah.
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 Excellent. And that's
So,
wonderful that she
mm,
she would
yes.
come and connect with you every
Yes,
time.
yes. Then I thought, oh, this is very good idea. Going back to the country of origin, whatever, Reiki hands-on
Yes.
healing. If I practice Qigong, it's from China. It's a good
Yeah.
idea to visit China. Okay? Yeah.
Yep.
Yoga, maybe, India, going to the
Yes.
country of the origin is a good idea. Yeah.
It's wonderful. It is really wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what
definitely.
Phyllis did. She
Hmm.
stay in Kyoto sometime a month, then
Wow.
she invites her students all over the world. She has so many students.
She
And she
does.
said, come to Kyoto. I'm here. Huh? She
And
didn't teach anything.
did Johannes go over with her?
Yeah, from time to yes, yes, yes.
Yes, yeah, because I interviewed him as well
Mm-hmm.
in these
Yeah.
interview series. Yeah,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
yeah,
So
excellent
anyway, we had a very good I don't know how to say
connection.
it, connection and also, you know, uh, conversation, yes. So I could learn so much from Phyllis about Takata Sensei,
Yes,
teaching, yes.
oh, that's really wonderful. That is
Mm-hmm,
wonderful.
mm-hmm.
Excellent. So, what continues to inspire you after all these years? I mean, I did my Reiki training in 1998 and
Oh,
became a
oh,
master in
no.
1999.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm never bored. I love Reiki, and it just seems to always be the one thing that's always there for me. Anytime things get difficult, Reiki is always there. And
Yes.
what inspires you to continue?
Because to me, it's not just a hands-on healing practice. It's a
Yes,
spiritual, training path, you know. So, like I said, it's a never-ending path. You know.
definitely,
Yeah, there is
definitely.
there is no diploma, no certificate, no nothing. We have to
That's
keep
right.
on, going. Then it's I know it's a never-ending, but I can enjoy walking on a spiritual path because sometimes I look back, oh, I mean, spiritual speaking, I could grow up a little bit. Then I
Mm.
look back, oh, grow up a little bit,
Yeah,
always when,
with that beginner's mind, always have the
yeah,
beginner
yeah, yeah,
mind. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Then, slowly, slowly, but going up and up, up, yeah, yeah. Spiritual growth,
excellent.
yeah.
Yep, on the
Then I
spiral.
feel, oh, yeah. So I always say, okay, in a in the world of duality, good or bad, it's not good, things to want more and more. Of course, as a human, you know,
Yeah,
more
that's
we
the
have,
ego again, but
more
it's
we
really,
want, more,
yeah,
more, more. But
but it's being satisfied and
yeah,
being happy
mhm,
where you are.
yeah, huh? But I think when it comes to spiritual, you know, path, it's okay for us to want more, more,
Yes,
higher, 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 Yes. Then
keep
hope,
striving.
hmm then hopefully, our final goal, Satori, or enlightenment, illumination, we reach the world of oneness beyond duality. No more birth, no more death, yeah?
Yes,
Yeah, no
yes,
rich, no poor, no young, no old, something like that. Yeah. So hopefully,
definitely.
yeah. So
Yeah.
like you said, I never get bored with this simple, uh, practice of hands-on healing. Yes,
Yeah.
but but again, one of the human weaknesses, if things is very simple, we have a strong tendency to get bored because of the simplicity. Then, like a
And
children,
complicate things. Yes.
mhm, like a children, we want a new toy, more complicated, Then we
Yes.
feel happier. Then we want more complicated, Yeah, complicated. Then we get lost, you know. Yeah, it's not
And
the way. Yeah,
no, and we just
yeah,
need to be fully present and
yeah, yeah.
embrace everything that we have.
So it's not easy stick to the simple thing, Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's the only way, you know, like a Reiki
Yes.
hands-on healing. So simple. That's all.
And we
But
must always come back to basics.
mhm, then, because of this simplicity, how much we can learn, you know?
Mm,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
true.
yeah.
So
So
many
in that sense,
depths.
mhm,
Mm,
yes. So, yeah, so deep, Yeah.
mm,
So I always say when it's come to Reiki hands-on healing, it's not a question of how long I practice, okay? Yeah,
yes.
it's not a question of time. It's
No.
about
It's
depth.
how deep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
deep. Yes, yes. Okay? Yeah. So,
Very true.
like you mentioned, yeah, I know some people get bored and they want a new toy, but it's not that way, you know? Like, how do you say the proverb? A jack of all trade, is, not of, I mean, master of none,
Master of none. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
I,
we choose,
I,
I
yeah, I
choose
was
one.
going to, yeah,
Hmm
I was going to say once I had a student who came to do Reiki and she said, oh, last week I did an angel course and 2 weeks before that I did a crystal course. And I said, but stop, are you using any of them? And she said, oh, well, not really. And I said, well, I'm going to get you to have a think about this. You need to find one thing that really embodies who you want to be and
hmm
learn it thoroughly and really live it before you go and do any more training.
hmm Yeah. So
Like
I
collect
mean,
certificates.
it's understandable. You know, we are very curious. You know about things new. Yeah, but
Yes,
again, we have to stick to one or two and go deeper and deeper. Yes,
very true.
yes, yes.
Excellent. And so
Okay.
I had somebody email me and ask me to ask you
Mm-hmm.
if you are going to write a book because they said Hiroshi Doi has written a book
Oh,
on all techniques. And
yeah,
I messaged him and
technique.
said I would ask you, but I don't think you're concerned about techniques. You're concerned more about people being fully present and really on that spiritual path. But so are you thinking about writing another book? Because you've also, I've got my manual here and it's very
Uh-huh.
comprehensive.
Yeah.
Yes,
So, when it's come to the book, my book, I've been thinking for many, many years because people ask me, uh, when do you publish your book? I always say, oh, next year. Then next year, okay, next year. You know, my answer
love
is
it.
always next year. So I spent how many years, maybe more than 10 years, saying, oh, next year. So I'm thinking, for sure. Next year. Yeah.
I'll
Not
tell him
big
that.
one, not big one, tiny one, even tiny one, Yeah,
Excellent.
I like to share, my understanding, my interpretation, and
Philosophy.
I like to share the truth, about Reiki Ryoho, Reiki, truth about Usui Sensei, yeah. Nothing but truth.
Definitely.
Okay? I want to share. Not
I
not
understand.
my personal interpretation or you know personal speculation. No, only the truth,
Yes,
based on evidence. Yeah,
that
that's
sounds
I want to
wonderful.
do. Yeah, so my promise next year
I will pass
sometime.
that on. And then
Okay.
next year, I'm going to check in with you.
Yeah. Okay. Because
Excellent.
you know, as everybody, I'm getting older and older. Okay. Yes.
Tell
I
me about
feel
it.
I only have 10 more years to go. Yeah. Yeah. So I have to
So,
hurry up.
so how old are you?
Uh, I mean, in August, I'll be 85, 85.
Oh my goodness. I
Oh, I
would never
remember.
have
My
thought
goodness.
that. That's wonderful.
I
That's
was born in
wonderful.
1940.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
amazing. Well,
yeah.
you look wonderful for your age.
Thank
You
you.
look
Because,
fantastic. I'll be
because,
69 in July, and I thought I was getting up
okay,
there.
okay. You're looking great. See,
It's good,
I
good these
never,
cameras.
mhm, I never thought my age. So sometimes I forget how old I am because I never think of my age.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
I
Maybe
understand.
that, maybe that could be a secret. Yeah. Look younger than I am.
Yes, definitely, definitely.
Mhm, mhm.
And so, do you have any other words of wisdom you'd like to share with everybody? We're nearly at 2 hours now, and I've just had my
Oh,
husband
okay.
ringing. Yeah,
Okay. So let's see. What should I say? Again, uh, Reiki hands-on healing is very simple, but very profound, so deep. Yeah. Okay. And it's a lifelong practice or training. Okay. So we need to strive on, keep on walking on a never-ending spiritual path. Okay?
wonderful.
Yes.
Wow. Well, that time has just flown by. I've just
Yes, yes.
loving
Yeah.
having this conversation with you, and I'm so grateful that you've given us your time. And I will be sharing this with Reiki Australia. So what I would like to do, and with all our pages, I would like to also add down the bottom of our post any of the schools, any of your websites, anything else that you'd like to share with the world. And we are happy to share all of that. But it's just been such a pleasure to get to know you better, and I'm so grateful. So thank you
Thank
so much,
you.
Sensei.
Thank you very much, Carol. It's been my great pleasure. Yes. I'm so
So
happy.
so
Yeah.
wonderful. Me
Thank you
too.
very much. Hmm.
And anything else you'd like to share?
You mean now?
Yeah,
Okay. I think I mean, yeah, yeah,
excellent. So thank you
yes.
so much.
Yeah. Thank you again,
And
Carol. And
I'll
hope
just
to see
stop
you.
this
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you
definitely.
again. Mm-hmm.
Bye.